Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Dominic Carter in for James Golden on this Friday. James expected back on Monday. I love this song. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I still remember, folks. I'll get to the show in a second. As a teenager in Seattle, Washington, my cousin and I, we would sneak out of the house in the middle of the night because we weren't allowed to go out that time of night and go to the young clubs. And this is when this song was hot. And they would play this. And we would love, Kevin, to dance to this song. The best part is coming up. It's coming up. We gotta listen for a second. Can't sing, you know. They tell me don't sing, so I'm not gonna sing. Sandra in New Jersey tells me I can't sing until she gives me a lesson. So Kevin, I better not sing, but I can listen to the song for a second. It's Friday. If you're driving home, don't worry about the person next to you thinking you're crazy. Just go with the flow. If you want to move a little bit, sing a little bit, go ahead and do it. You're driving to the Poconos, right? On Route 80 and parking lot traffic. Have fun! The tri-state area, lots of traffic right now, or nationally. Have fun! I'm waiting for the best part. It's coming up soon. In like 9 minutes. Wait, it's coming, folks. It's coming, the best part. The best part of the song is coming up. And then I'll get to the show. The DJ to play your favorite tune. It's the best part when you can dance to. It's coming up. Kevin is taking too long to get to the point where he goes, we can boogie on down, we boogie on down. Is it coming up yet? I think so. This is the last time. Wait, this is the last time right here. Here it comes on a Friday. Here it comes, folks. I'll be there after a while. If you want my love, we can boogie on down, we boogie on down, we boogie on down. Why are you smiling, Kevin? Am I fired? Is that what you're telling me? What, don't sing? I feel good. We see your calls coming in. We're going to get to Sandra in New Jersey, Robert in Brooklyn among the calls in just a second. In light of all the fraud that is going on in Minnesota, who in their right mind would come into office talking about big government? I'll tell you who. A socialist. That's who. Mamdani comes into office yesterday, vowing the day of big government is back. I'm going to circle back to Mamdani in just a second, but I want to start with this, right? Sometimes it takes all of us. I have to be honest. Sometimes in life, it takes us time to mature. I can't be a phony, but I've had it with these multi-million-dollar athletes. I'm talking about the NBA. Did you hear about what happened the other day? Anthony Edwards, who is the face of the NBA, if you will, right? He's the face of the NBA. So the other day, the Timberwolves, they pull all their starting players because they were down in the fourth quarter. 7 minutes ago, they were down like 25 points. Prima donna Anthony Edwards was not happy that the coach pulled the starters, and in the timeout, he did one of the worst things you can do in professional sports. He called it a night and walked to the locker room. And we're looking for soundbite number 27, which is Anthony Edwards, the announcer.
No.
Anthony Edwards, his night is done. 31 points. Excuse me.
So he literally, you don't do that. It's a major no-no. He got up and just walked back to the locker room. That's it. The prima donna was done. I can't be a phony, folks. I have to tell you, it took me a while to mature as well. And television, right? Sometimes this stuff can get to you. And so I was in the middle of a contract negotiation. I got to be honest with you, folks. I don't believe in agents. I'm not giving somebody 8% of my salary to negotiate what I know I can get. Maybe I should, because in the negotiations, it becomes very tough and very personal. And so the person I was negotiating with at the time was offering peanuts. They love to do percentage. We'll give you 15%. Here's the catch, of zero, right? We'll give you 20% of zero. And, I'm not proud of it. We were 3 hours from air. And I'm like, well, if that's what you're offering, I'm out. And I left the station and went to go home. And so thank God my boss called me back. I came back, did the show because I knew they needed me to host the show that night. Came back, negotiated the contract. They gave me the signing bonus. They gave me the nice contract. But you have to be careful with that. And these athletes, so I've matured from that, folks. But so Anthony Edwards, the star of the NBA, he got up and just walked off because he was mad that the coach pulled the starters from the game. How do you deal with these prima donnas, these $1 million athletes? They want to tell you their political views. I don't care what your political view is. I'm paying top dollar to see you run up and down and dunk this basketball and entertain me. I'm here to be entertained. I don't care what your political views are. What makes your political views more important than anybody else? That's the bottom line. And so now, to big government, right? Mamdani. And Kevin, this is soundbite 36. Mamdani declaring that the day of big government is coming back.
Beginning today, we will govern expansively and audaciously. We may not always succeed, but never will we be accused of lacking the courage to try. To those who insist that the era of big government is over, hear me when I say this. No longer will City Hall hesitate to use its power to improve New Yorkers' lives. For too long, we have turned to the private sector for greatness while accepting mediocrity from those who serve the public. I cannot blame anyone who has come to question the role of government, whose faith in democracy has been eroded by decades of apathy. We will restore that trust by walking a different path. One where government is no longer solely the final recourse for those struggling. One where excellence is no longer the exception. We expect greatness from the cooks wielding 1,000 spices, from those who stride out onto our Broadway stages, and from our starting point guard at Madison Square Garden. Let us demand the same from those who work in government. In a city where the mere names of our streets are associated with the innovation of the industries that call them home, we will make the word City Hall synonymous with both resolve and results.
All right. The mayor of New York City, you see how cute he thinks he is? He brings up, without naming him, Jalen Brunson, the starting star point guard of the New York Knicks. But, Mayor Mamdani, you left out the fact that the Knicks sent you a cease and desist letter when you used their logo during a campaign without their permission. Oops. You forgot to mention that part, Mr. Mayor. You're talking about inclusion in big government. How about this? Start with stop scaring Jewish people of your anti-Semitism. How about that? Why don't you be different from daddy? Okay? Let's go back to your telephone calls here on the James Golden Show. Dominic Carter filling in, 800-848-9222. Sandra, line 2, New Jersey. What's on your mind?
Happy New Year, Dominic. Dominic,
Same to you.
Thank you, Dominic. I listened to the inauguration speech twice. I have so many notes, so many red flags, but I don't have the time to go over because time is limited. But I'll conclude by saying something very bad he's going to also cause. Rich versus the poor. Another divide. We have enough division in this country. He's going to start to divide the rich against the poor. I read that 1% of the top earners pay 46% of the city's budget.
Correct.
That is equivalent to the entire state of Florida. So, we pay for funding, for social services, Blasio's thing with his wife, the Thrive mental health thing. We paid for Adams, sheltered people, 210,000 migrants. We paid for their food. So what I'm trying to say is he shouldn't bite the hand that feeds you. That's what he's doing. He's making a grave mistake there. And I was so angry. In the beginning I was okay with the speech. I thought, it's nice to see these kids sing. And then it got, worse with the poetry that Cornelius said. Yeah, and he wanted the trans queers and the foreign students. It's for them. Look, that's okay, I guess, but what I'm trying to say here is I'm just as concerned as you. There's a lot of bad stuff that I saw the second time. The first time I didn't see it clearly. The second time I did. And I think, again, I want to say, rich versus poor, he shouldn't do that. He should be proud of people who did well and make the other ones try to emulate that instead of dividing us. And then I'll say one more thing.
Well, quickly, it's got to be quick, Sandra. Go ahead.
Bruce Blakeman this morning won my heart even more. He taught me what collectionism really means. I didn't really understand, Dominic. That means if your house is too big, this little punk can decide you're going to give some of that space to some other people because you have too much, or you have too much money. Some of that money is going to go to other areas that need help. That's not right.
I have to step in, Sandra. He's got a few tricks in his bag for all of us. This guy, I'm sorry, he's not a good person. His politics are out there. It's almost like we took our enemy and made him the mayor of New York City. Literally. And thank you for, I got to move on, Sandra. And it's absolutely horrible. Time for a break, folks. We are coming right back.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This National Foster Care Month, Marine Toys for Tots is providing hope to children who need it most. Staff Sergeant James Caldwell, who grew up in foster care himself, shares that while handing out gifts at a Toys for Tots distribution event, a little girl looked up at him, reached into her bag, pulled out a stuffed animal and said, "Someone needs to make sure you get a toy too." That simple gesture embodies the heart of Marine Toys for Tots, ensuring every child, including those in foster care, experiences the kindness that can transform their future. Visit toysfortots.org today. The James Golden Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Let's go back to your telephone calls. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. Let's see here. Let's go to Rich, line 2 in Westchester. Rich, what's on your mind?
Yes, Dominic. I don't think Mandami's going to get much of anything done because for these programs, Trump ain't going to give him the federal funds that he needs. Hochul, if she has any hope of being reelected next year, she ain't going to help him out. And the Albany legislature is not going to get his laws passed. So I don't think he's going to get much of anything done.
Well, the only thing I disagree with what you said, for all intents purposes, he's the governor right now, and Hochul is like a small town mayor. So she's going to try and help him with some fronts, but the legislature is not going to go along with it. So in general, Rich, I agree with you. His agenda is dead on arrival. And Debbie Lobato made the great point of, these people that believe in him. This is a reflection of the breakdown in family and a reflection of the breakdown in the education system, because nobody in their right mind would believe this guy. I kid you not, Rich, and I say this respectfully. It's almost like our worst enemy that we can imagine, even though he's got a smile and a beard, and he used to want to be a rapper, and he's got a mommy that's a movie director and daddy that's an anti-Semitic professor. They got him through with all his great education and so on. It's like our worst enemy. It's like the devil with a smile has become the mayor of New York City. That's what we're dealing with, literally.
He's got his excuses already prepared. He knows it.
Of course. His agenda is dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. It's not going to happen. Thank you for the great call, Rich in Westchester. Let's go to Nick, line 3, New Jersey. Nick, what's on your mind?
Hey, what do you say, Dominic? Listen, I was a member of a group for a short time that I had a song, Undisputed Truth, had smiling faces. And I think it's probably the most applicable song for this guy. You remember that one? What,
they smile in your face all the time, they want to take your place? Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's the Backstabbers.
Okay.
Smiling Faces by Undisputed Truth. We had a #1 record with that. It's sometimes they don't tell the truth,
Yeah, but the only thing I disagree with you is that all the time, Mom Donnie doesn't tell the truth. Nick, thank you for your great call here. Let's go to Gracie, Rockland County, line 2. Gracie, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. What's on my mind is this. He copied the mayor, the new mayor, copied Obama. Hope and change, didn't say a damn thing, but whatever you wanted it to mean, that's what came through. These people are so dumb that my brain is breaking from how they could fall for everything. That's that. And his wife had a beautiful coat on. I wonder what his fellow Muslims are going to say that she wasn't wearing a burqa.
Oh, how about the $600 boots she had on? I mean,
I don't know prices. You're right. The boots were beautiful.
I mean, all I'm saying is, listen, you can wear whatever you want, but he was only making $170,000, I believe, as an assemblyman. So how does the wife? But she's got her own career. I don't want to sound sexist. She's an artist. It's just something about her, Gracie, that has me scratching my head. I don't know. She's the first lady, and he's the mayor. The devil takes City Hall. We're coming right back.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The James Golden Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You know, what's interesting, folks, don't forget the name Nick Shirley, the young man that exposed all that corruption in Minnesota. Social service programs, the Somalian community. Can I say Somalian, or is that racist? You know, that's the first, when you know you got somebody is when they turn to the race card. That's when you know you got them. So you can't say anything against Somalians because, they'll tell you they're black. I didn't know they were American black, but, that's what they tell you. So, but anyway, Nick Shirley says that his next video, we're getting back to Mom Donnie in just a moment. But Nick Shirley says his next video will be even crazier than the first one. And he also says to the news media, if you're looking for dirt on him, good luck with that.
These people are like, I saw something, someone's calling me like a PDF. They're saying all these crazy allegations. I'm like, hey, what sucks for them is they're never going to be able to get me. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm a virgin. I don't have sex with random girls. You're not going to catch me on no sexual allegation charges. I don't have any addictions. I don't have any vices. So what are these people going to get me for? They're done. I'm religious. I believe in God. I'm everything they hate.
I love that.
So what are they going to get me for? They can't get me for anything. Like, they're going to come after me for my personality or for a stunt I did in high school, maybe. That's maybe the best thing they could get me for, is for Nick Shirley being a young, reckless teenager, just like any other YouTube prankster. Go ahead. I don't care. Like, I have nothing to hide. Like, I literally have nothing to hide. So, like, I am going to become their worst enemy, and you're going to start seeing them using the slandering tactics, and it's just going to be comical for me because they can't get anything on me.
And by the way,
the way I've lived my life and the way I do live my life is a matter-of-fact way. I have my morals. I have my principles. I surround myself with primarily just my family.
So I can't wait for that second video. And, you know, talking about days of yesteryear, the only thing I did in my college days is a skit where the college president was there. I dressed up in drag. So the same thing that Rudy Giuliani did when he dressed up as a woman, and head to toe, I was fine. I had it going on. I didn't have a weave or, you know, I still look better than Jasmine Crockett in drag. Congresswoman Hate. Congresswoman Keisha, a.k.a. Jasmine Crockett, I want to go to the Senate. I don't think so. Jasmine Crockett. But, you know, and we're coming back to Mamdani, and I'm telling you folks, do me a favor, because to all you folks that posted on my social media, oh, you're being unfair to this candidate in the race for mayor. Look at you now. What do you have to say now? Pick up the Wall Street Journal and read for yourself how this candidate in the race for mayor is praising Mamdani. He says Mamdani got a majority of the vote. This candidate, this race for mayor, this is why we have this socialist as the mayor, because it was 2 against 1. It's very, very clear now. You know, one could say, well, in the debate, why do you keep going after Cuomo and you're not saying anything about Mamdani? That was the first time. The second debate. Why do you keep going after Mamdani, after Cuomo, and you're not saying anything about Mamdani? We now know the reason why. Something is rotten in Denmark. It's time to start checking the checking accounts. I'm not just talking about campaign spending. That scrutiny is underway as well right now. I'm talking about it's time to start looking at checking accounts of cousins, whoever some money may have been placed in, because this race for mayor was 2 against 1. So to those of you, oh, you're unfair to him. He's the best thing. Oh, I almost said something, but the ladies that support me on air would have got on my back if I would have referred to somebody as a con man. So I'm not going to call him a con man, but this is the third time that I use the term con man, because that's exactly what he's always been. Oh, the Guardian Angels. Give me a break. Look at the finances of the Guardian Angels. How many members are part of the Guardian Angels? 5? 5, 6? Come on, folks. You can't be that gullible. You can't. So I'm done. Before the women that support my careers, we told you to leave that topic alone, and you won't leave it alone. But I want to focus one last thing on Minnesota. Dominic Carter in for James Golden before I go back to your telephone calls. So Republican Senate candidate David Hahn is calling out the lieutenant governor of Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, for political posturing. What are you talking about, Dominic? A viral video. This, she's wearing a hijab or whatever way you pronounce it while speaking to Somali constituents, right? So this is America. This is not some Muslim country. But she had on a hijab, and the Senate candidate says that it's time for Governor Dum Dum, Governor Walz, and the entire string of Democrats around him, including the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, to say bye-bye.
They just are pandering to political constituencies, and they're not doing the job that they were elected to do.
feeding our future fraud. There were warning signs, but the administration, Peggy Flanagan, Tim Walz, did not investigate. They did not do their duty out of concern that they would offend a political constituency. So they haven't done anything to take responsibility for what the public expects them to do. It's emblematic of the way Democrats have governed in this state. They like to posture. They like to tell people how compassionate they are. They tell us our high taxes are helping people, but they really haven't demonstrated a concern for helping people. They're more interested in just spending money. They need to apologize to the people of Minnesota for their failure, and they need to get out of politics. They can't be trusted to be supervising the expenditures of public dollars when they behave this way. It's very political. It's part of, I think, an operation that they have of trying to spend public money and convince us that they're being compassionate, and they're simply buying votes.
And that's what it amounts to. So now we know why. Going back to your telephone calls in just 1 second. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. Now we know why a certain candidate stayed in until the very end. Now we know why. It was part of the deal. Mamdani knew all along that as long as that candidate stayed in, there was no way he could lose because the opposition vote was split. Now, so to all of you folks that badgered me, how could you say that? Blah, blah, blah. He started your career. Nothing could be further from the truth, by the way. He hindered my career for 10 years. I would have been before this microphone 10 years ago if not for him. Because he didn't want the competition. That's the truth, Ruth. That's the truth. I would have been here full time 10 years prior if not for him. Oh, I founded his career. No, you didn't. Stop lying. You lie every day. That's what you do. But he had a wingman. Mamdani had a wingman. And as long as that wingman stayed in the race, Mamdani couldn't lose. They cut a deal. Period. Let's go to Tony. Line 1, Clifton, New Jersey. Tony, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. You are my plumb line for what's going on politically and human naturally, really. And that's the gold standard, Dominic.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
And Happy New Year. And I wish you all the best. So when you say that, you get the sense that there's a devil in our midst in the City Hall, in the mayor's office, in the area, right? And some people say they can sniff it out, they can smell it out. And I want you to know that for those of us who are spiritually inclined, we're totally with you because scripturally it says that Satan is the accuser of the brethren, and Mamdani, his cult movement, which he called it, is fueled by accusatory propaganda. So I just want to keep it simple and let you know that, as usual, you're right on target. You're ahead of the game. And, prayer changes things because that's about the only thing we could do is just, pray. And also don't take any of his hatred for the Word of God. And we don't have any Bibles around here because that's the last thing he wants in that White House, in his house is a Bible because it's fueled by the enemy, and you are so on target, and that's the spiritual word for today, Dominic.
Well, thank you, Tony. That's very kind of you, and I want you to think about this. He's in charge of the schools. He's in charge of the fire department. He's in charge of EMS. So he infiltrates us in every way you can imagine. And he already told you, I'm governing as a Democrat socialist. That's what got me here. That's not what got him there. What got you there, Mamdani, is you cut a deal with the third candidate in the race to stay in to the very end. And you knew, Mr. Slick Mamdani, that Cuomo was screwed because you were going to split the opposition vote, and there was nothing that Cuomo could do about it as long as that third candidate was game with you. So now the race is over, and that third candidate has nothing but glowing things to say about you. I wonder why. I wonder what role the third candidate's wife has to do with all this. I said it, and check it out. Don't just believe me. Check it out. Check out what I'm saying. A deal was cut. It's clear as day now. That's why a third candidate stayed in this race until the end. Now, we don't know what was exchanged yet. That's going to come out as well. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Bill in Florida, line 5. Bill, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I'm calling you from Florida. I listen to you and Bo a lot from Florida. But do you think the Koran is going to be the precedent for the mayor's race and any other race in New York from now on? Are they going to push that Koran? Because, truthfully, I don't think it's legal. You?
Of course it's legal, but as long as
it's legal to have a Bible that is a Bible that the Bible is the Bible. The Koran is not the Bible. They say place your hand on the Bible.
Right, but it's still legal. He's not the first one to be sworn in with the Koran. He won't be the last.
He's the first one in New York City.
Well, he's the first one in New York, but he's not going to be the last. What you're engaging in right now, Bill, is wishful thinking. That's not going to change anything.
I'm asking you a question.
Well, I'm trying to tell you that nothing's going to change.
Why do you yell? Why do you yell? I'm a caller.
Okay, question. Bill is done. Let's lose Bill on 5. I'm trying to answer the question, and you're not listening. I'm trying to help you understand the process. As long as the electorate is, for lack of a better term, dumb and uneducated, people like Mamdani will be around for quite some time. And that's where we are right now. We don't, Debbie Lebedo, the comment that she tweeted earlier is so accurate. The breakdown of the family structure, the breakdown of the education system, and when you got a wingman, in the race for you, who gangs up on Cuomo in both debates, who splits the vote, Mamdani couldn't lose. He couldn't lose. And then he barely cracks 50%, barely by the skin of his teeth. Even though the deck was stacked, it was not a fair race. We know that officially now. We know that it was 2 against 1. And he gets to say that he has a mandate as he's trying to cut figuratively all of our throats. I'm not going to say literally, but you get the point of what I'm trying to make. Time for a break here on the James Golden Show. Dominic Carter filling in. We're coming right back.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The James Golden Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We are back. Dominic Carter in for James Golden. James expected back on Monday. So wait, this song here. Okay. Good one, Kevin. Good one. Don't forget, coming up in just minutes, Katz and Cosby, the show of record where all the newsmakers come to. Right now, let's get in as many calls as we can. Line 2, Nancy, New Jersey. Nancy, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, always a pleasure. First of all, I'll start off with saying you were absolutely right about Curtis. We tangled a little bit back in July, but as the campaign went on, I understood your point and came over to your side. So thank you for your clear-eyed comments.
Well, Nancy, it's not about me winning or losing. I don't say something, Nancy, unless I know it to be true. And to be honest with you, from the first debate, I knew exactly what had happened. But I said, well, let me give it benefit of the doubt, right? And he goes on his show and makes these comments about me, but he won't tell you how he tried to put words in my mouth to tell me how to spin his horrible campaign when he was going to run. When I told him privately, you don't have a chance in hell. And he told me what he wanted me to say to make it look like he had a chance. He don't tell you that. He'll say,
"Oh, I got your own mind," and we appreciate it. You have your own mind. You speak your own words. And
right. And that's the bottom line. And that's why I love Sid. That's why me and Sid got into it. Because Sid wanted me to praise Curtis's campaign, that candidate's campaign. And I said, Sid, you know god darn well that he's got no chance in hell, and I can't do that. And then Sid tried to make me do it, and it didn't work that day between Sid and I. But we're back being boys, and Sid is a great guy. Go ahead, Nancy.
Okay, the reason I'm calling, first of all, is because I hope we pull any funds, federal funds, because you know what? We got enough trouble here over on our side of the river. And New York tied their own rope. They need to swing for a little while and feel the consequences. You know, I don't want to bail them out. It's like, this is what you wanted. This is what you got.
Right, I hear you, Nancy, but what about the fact that these voters, they voted for him, they're not too, I don't mean to offend them, they're not too sophisticated. Let me put it that way.
They're ignorant. They're ignorant.
Yes.
They're ignorant. They don't realize that when Daddy controls everything and feeds you and takes care of you, that if you displease Daddy, guess what? Daddy can snap right back.
Right. Exactly. Nancy, thank you for the wonderful call. I want you to have a great weekend. Let's go to David, line 4 in Queens. David, you are on the James Golden Show. Dominic Carter filling in. What's on your mind?
How you doing, Don James? Make it quick. I kind of disagree your opinion about they cut a deal. I would want Cuomo to have been mayor. I'm glad that Mamdani is the mayor. Maybe.
Okay. Wait a minute. Do you work for a living?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So you work for a living. That's wonderful. Now, do you rely on any city services?
No. What do you realize? Like the MTA? Or,
okay, all right. So what are you going to say, David, when you realize he conned you and he can't deliver free bus service, train service? What are you going to say then?
Don't you think we're already putting the horse in front of the cart? We don't know what's going to happen.
We do know, David. People like me to cover politics for a living. It's our job to forecast what's ahead. The legislature is never going to give this socialist the money for the train system. Come on, you don't see that?
Okay, I agree, but
so how could you say we're putting the cart ahead?
Hello?
We know he's not going to get the money. We know.
Okay, but all right, you know what? But let's look at reality. Cuomo lost. Mamdani won. Case closed.
No, what happened was it was a stacked deck. Thank you for the call. What happened is Mamdani had a wingman, we clearly know now, who smiled in our face every day and was stabbing us all in the back. And it's that person that spoke to the Wall Street Journal, praising Mamdani, kissing his ass in ways I've never seen possible. I'm back Sunday evening, folks. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to The James Golden Show. You can hear The James Golden Show Saturday mornings at 7. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.